Do I feel good today? What's up, everybody? Welcome into your sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it Driving the Line. We're here every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I am the coach, and I got to tell you, on the first day of February, we are taking a giant leap forward. But, as always, before we look forward, we must always look back, as we are the most transparent show in sports betting as well. And this is why we are a crew. My man Howie Schwab has been nails every single day. He has an off day. But look at the rest of the crew. My man Z, 2-1. If you watched yesterday, this is a great learning experience for you. We had the Thunder on the money line. If you bet it when we told you to bet it, you got it at minus 115, That shot up to like minus 200 when Jokic was ruled out. But a really solid day at the brand. That's why we are a crew for a reason. But we have so much to get to. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Because you know them and you love them. My two main men, Howie Schwab, first and foremost. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, guys. And sorry about yesterday, but UCF shot 1 of 7 on the foul line. I could have shot that.
God, I love you so much. And my man, the 5-tool player, AB. Today's a big day, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But first and foremost, good morning. And what does the crew have today for choices?
Yep. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Howie. So we see it up there. And, yeah, thankfully, Kentucky, appreciate you guys not having the decency to just lose the game and we still hit the under. You had to go to overtime, so we missed both of those. Appreciate that a lot, Calipari. All right, so what we have, the cruise play of the day today, Wisconsin minus 1.5 on the road against Nebraska. We've got the 76ers plus 4.5. Cal, Arizona under 57.5. And Elon going with the Elon here, minus 2.5, minus 110. Those 4 options are in the chat now. Vote, and we will pick the winner at the end of the show.
I did not see Elon on my bingo card to have as a choice at any point this season. You're damn right. All right, gentlemen, before we get to the top topics of the day, there are going to be tentpole days for us here at the brand. There are going to be big days that we look back on and say, man, that was a cool day. Well, this moment is one of those moments. And we've been talking about it, AB, me and you, for well over a year. And it's not just as simple as throwing something up on the wall. It takes time. It takes the right partner. It takes creativity. And we're going to do it different than everybody else. But I would love for everybody in the chat to write, well done, Zach. And I'm going to tell you why. Because today, as of this moment, Driving the Line has live merchandise. Throw it up on the screen. And our very first featured item of the week comes from our man, Zach. And he sent it in. He says, Coach, could you do this for me? And I'm a man of my word. I talked to AB and we said, you're damn right we can. So if you go to that QR code, you can get It's Us Against the Books. Hashtag the crew. And there are 3 or 4 other choices up there. Now, AB, here's how we're going to do it. We're not just throwing 10 things up there for it to be static. We're going to be constantly changing what we have. And if anybody in the chat has an idea, I think we proved this morning, sir, did we not, that we will listen and we will execute in the best way possible.
We did, sir. Absolutely. And Zach, nice job on that, buddy. You did a great job, man.
Now, Howie, I was talking to Eduardo yesterday. True story. And I said, how are the people in the office feeling about Howie's homies? And he said to me, he says, Coach, that feels like a very good March Madness featured item. How would you think that would sell, Howie?
That would be fine with me. I'm very happy with the idea, just being part of the team.
My man.
Now, Coach, I was going to say this. All right, so first off, you just brought up Howie and March Madness. I can't wait to see what his bracket is going to look like. And obviously we'll have, a full March Madness game for everybody. And what made me think about it was you saying that. And TJ Parker in the chat bringing up fantasy baseball. Hell yeah, I'm in for that, dude. I'll set that up for all of us. But yeah, I bet Howie's a monster at March Madness, dude. I bet that's going to be fun.
I would think that if we have somebody that could try and beat Howie, that'd be a nice little competition and reward for anybody who can do that. We'll come up with all the rules, but a month from right now, we're smack dab in the middle of Howie's sweet spot. Now, Zach, for you, I told you that we would give you a little something. So we're going to send you type into the chat whatever you want. You want a sweatshirt, t-shirt, me and AB will send it to you. Also, we're going to send you a little merch coupon so you can shop in the store and get whatever else that you want because you, sir, are a vital member of the crew, and this is yours. So, ladies and gentlemen, shop to your heart's content, and every single week we'll have a different featured merch item. Right there's a QR code. Couldn't make it any better. Oh, Big Cheesy. You are dead to me. That might be week number 2. You just never know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it going. It's time for the rundown. AB, the news keeps coming from the NFL, and it's not a name like Belichick. It's not a name like Pete Carroll, but it is Pete Carroll's old team. The Seahawks named their new head coach, Mike McDonald. What do you make of this one?
That's an interesting choice, especially when you look at kind of the reason that Pete Carroll is out is there was a lack of offense. So we're going with a defensive coordinator. I mean, McDonald has the approval from both Harbaugh brothers, which is cool. I mean, he's got a good resume here. Just a fascinating choice. I think that we're going to read the Seahawks and the Titans. Both were teams that hired head coaches more for the family feel between them and the GM more than what the head coach brought, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And Howie, when we look at some of these hires and the ages, it almost seems like, the NFL is a copycat league. And now we're going young, we're going defense, and we're not going with the old guard. 36 years old, another young one. Your thoughts?
I totally agree. Kyle Shanahan was in the Super Bowl, former coordinator. Now you look at the trend. I mean, Saleh with the Jets, even though that's becoming a mess. O'Connell with the Vikings, McDaniel with the Dolphins. Now this. It seems like people are trying to get the hot assistant coach to step in and take over and build a program. And Seattle's defense was very erratic this past year too, so they need the help.
Well, we'll keep an eye on Bill Belichick. We'll keep an eye on Pete Carroll, but who knows, because the jobs are becoming fewer and fewer. We know that Ben Johnson's staying in Detroit, so it'll be interesting to find out who goes to Washington and who falls where as we get into free agency. Matt, I know it's been ordered because I just got an email notification, the very first item bought at our new merch store, so thank you very much.
Was Matty Boy was the first one that bought one?
Well, he says he bought it, and I just got a notification, so it's got to be him, right?
All right, yeah, it does. Okay, so.
Nice job.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Nice job. Thank you. And I'm going to figure something out for everyone that, is purchasing day one. There's something special that we need to do for them in the chat, like moving forward. I don't know what the answer is yet, but we'll figure that out because loyalty to us means the world.
Everything.
And that is much appreciated.
Everything.
Yep.
Everything. If you know, you know. Now, we've also all week long been tackling the Super Bowl because as AB told us the very first day, this is the only game that when you see a number that you like, you better bang it because it's only going to go up. So, Howie, I know you will not be on until next Tuesday. So I know you dug deep. So I want to come to you first on different things that you have found and explain why, and then we can react because there's still a lot of interest, maybe the most I've ever seen on the bye week for any Super Bowl that I can remember. Talk to me.
Well, I think because last week was so hot, there were so many different possibilities. This week, looking ahead to the Super Bowl, I picked a few right off the bat. Let's start with Reba McEntire. That's right. Hey, I'm a fan of the voice.
Me too.
Reba McEntire, over under 84.5 seconds. I'm going over. Number one, this is in Vegas. You want to put on a show. Number two, Reba McEntire, when she spoke on The Voice, sometimes went long. Number three, I'm just excited to be able to bet on a national anthem. I'm not going with the coin flip, though. Christian McCaffrey MVP I talked about the other day. I think he's going to be a key to this game. And I'm also using him for anytime touchdowns because he's going to get in the end zone. He's going to get there sometime. And then last, Patrick Mahomes. This may surprise you. Under 260.5 passing yards. Why? Because I think the offensive line is going to get 3 or 4 penalties that take away plays. And I think Kansas City is going to try to run the ball as well. And so I'm going to go under with Patrick Mahomes. Maybe a little bit of a surprise.
This might be the only show in the world, AB, that we have analysis that one of our plays is because said person talks longer on their TV show when giving advice to a youngster. I love that analysis. You, AB, you watch The Voice?
I don't watch The Voice. I'm familiar with it, but I'll say this. Howie's correct. It takes Reba McEntire 2 hours to watch 60 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, 100%. And here's the thing, too. All right, so in the chat, you see Randall Mims there, already purchased. Thank you. Well done, sir. He actually owns a business here in Nashville, right close to where Reba will be and has recorded almost every one of her albums. Me and Randall might sneak over and get a little stopwatch going on when she's doing her rundowns there. So, yeah, I'm with Howie on this one for sure.
This is a true story. A few years ago when Carrie Underwood sang the national anthem, she was at a party the night before. And everybody kept coming up to her, asking her, hey, how long do you think it's going to take you tomorrow? She's not a gambler. She had no idea why people were asking her that question, but they were. And she told the story afterwards because everybody wanted to bet on this particular thing. So get it in now because like AB says, it's only going to go up to like 86, 87 seconds. But as you can see, AB and Howie, I love that Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown because he touchdowns all the time. And to me, Howie, this is the only way that you can play CMC because if you go to his odds at BetMGM or Bovada, I'm telling you right now, if you play his anytime touchdown by itself, there's no value there.
Exactly.
That's great analysis, Howie. That is great analysis.
No, I mean, we both agree on this because, hey, they're going to give him the ball in 5-yard line, 4-yard line. They're going to give him the ball on the 1-yard line. Mm-hmm. He's got a great shot at score. He may even catch a pass for a touchdown. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, to me, I think that's a great play. You and I both agree on this.
Yeah, put that into a parlay. Like I said, Howie's going to give us all of his picks as he has done with the plays that he likes, and then you decide how you want to play them. I also like the Patrick Mahomes under 260. I think, Howie, that there's been a misconception that because the Chiefs have continued to win and Mahomes has played good football, that he's been throwing for a lot of yards. That has not been the case. Why did you target this one?
Because realistically, Kelsey's been the one guy. I mean, they have a couple outside receivers doing okay, but I think this game is going to be very fascinating. I think the run games are going to be very, very important for both teams. Purdy may have to throw a lot late. It's going to be wild, but bottom line, I really think Mahomes, he may run a few times. He'll do what he has to do, but I don't think he's going to get to 260. That's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And AB, let me come over to you because you found 4 more, and we're keeping a file of all of our picks. And on Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to look at how the numbers have changed to really make your point. Why did you like these 4 today?
Well, I'll tell you what, I listened to Ben Fox on our show on Wednesday and really thought about what he said at the end in regards to, a good diversity of picks. And I completely agree with him. He was right. So we're going to put 4 legs together here plus 390. All right. Both teams to score 17 points or more, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Think we can get there. Brock Purdy, 20 plus completions in the game. Howie just hit on it. You could see Purdy the end of the game, as the other 2 in the playoffs have been them making a comeback. So 20 plus completions, like that one there. Patrick Mahomes, longest completion, 35 yards or more. Not playing anything to do with his yardage. Obviously, Howie has that up there, but we just need 35 yards or longer. And then finally, Patrick Mahomes, 1+ interception. Put those 4 together, plus 390.
The one thing I've learned from you, AB, and I was putting my same game parlay together last night at BetMGM, is when you look at certain numbers, and I saw this Travis Kelce over 54.5, and you can bet this at different yardages, and it changes the number of the parlay. So I was kind of putting different parts together. I took Howie's Christian McCaffrey, and I said, you know what? He's going to score, but like somebody in the chat said, you bet him on the first half, it's plus 125 last week. But what if he doesn't score in the first half? Then you're burned on that. So that's how I came with these three. And the reason I put the Chiefs plus 1.5 was just so that I can cash this parlay and also make Big Cheesy wear a Chiefs uniform all over Sacramento, taking pictures with 3 people and then sending them into the show. That's our showdown. And I'll wear a 49ers jersey.
Coach, I like it. And look, I think that you have walked in to a really nice strategy as well. Let's say in the first half, McCaffrey punches a touchdown in first quarter. Kelce goes wild the first half. Chiefs go into halftime with a lead. I guarantee the book is going to give you a nice buyout option right there. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got options all over. I think that you absolutely hit on a great strategy there.
All right. I want you to give the other ones that you have, and then Howie, I'm going to have you react to them because I like those 5 that you found. And we talked about what is the sweet spot as far as how many bets you make on the Super Bowl. But when you put a lot of ones together that make sense, I really like them. Explain those.
Absolutely. So BetMGM has so many great options that you can hit on, whether you want to play just a single play or put together options for a parlay. Brock Purdy over half an interception, minus 110. Look at the Chiefs secondary. It has been on fire throughout the playoffs. Steve Spagnuolo has put together a phenomenal defensive game plan for each team, and I think that he's going to do the same thing here. Patrick Mahomes over 4.5 rush attempts. We've played that one throughout the playoffs. Look, Mahomes will use his legs. Also, not that we count on it, but kneel downs count as rush attempts as well. Patrick Mahomes over 25.5 completions. If you've seen the short that we have on our YouTube page, you will see that the winner of the Super Bowl, the quarterback, averages over 26 completions per game. Both quarterbacks combined over the last 9 Super Bowls per game averaged 70 pass attempts. Ooh. There are a ton of pass attempt plays in the Super Bowl throughout the last decade. 49ers Chiefs both to score 1+ rushing TD, plus 130, and 49ers Chiefs, both teams to score 20+ points, minus 105.
You know, Howie, let me come over to you. You've been really good at targeting the totals during the postseason, which quite frankly, we haven't really talked a lot about. But when you see ABs, both teams to score 20+, and the over had been sitting around 47 or 48. Would you rather have that, or would you rather play the over?
I think I'd rather have that, to be honest. And I think the way we're all approaching this is A, to have fun with the game, and B, to try to find ways to win and outfigure the book. And I think right now we have a lot of good picks up there. I love his Mahomes over 4.5 rushes because you know he's going to be pushed out of the pocket a couple of times in the game. Mm-hmm. And he's going to probably carry the ball himself, maybe on the goal line. I think that's a great pick. And I love the strategy you guys have, and that's what's making this a lot of fun going over this.
I love doing this together. It really, and I love the chat and all the input that you give as well. So take a screenshot of this. Hopefully you've been taking your notes throughout the week as we continue to accumulate all of our prop bets. Now,
go Reba.
Now, go Reba. One other topic before we get to the big board today, and this is something that is starting to get a lot of attention in the NBA, and that is the futures market for the MVP. They changed the rules, and there's a lot of players that are outspoken. They hate the rule, but I love the rule, and so that's why the topic is so big. So Joel Embiid, the reigning, defending NBA MVP, is now sore. His knee is sore, and look at the numbers now, plus 1,400. A couple of days ago, he was plus 450. Why the change? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a new rule that you have to play at least 20 minutes in at least 65 games in order to be eligible to win the MVP. He now can only miss 5 more games or he is ineligible. There are some other little things that he could, but that's the main point. That's the main rule, AB. And if you have a futures ticket on Embiid. Are you mad about this, or what are your feelings?
No, I mean, the rule is the rule. We all know it, right? I think that if you're a bettor, it's something to pay attention to. Put that graphic back up for me so that we can take a look here. So what I would do is if you're looking to bet Embiid now, or you already have an Embiid bet, I would pair it with someone else besides Jokic that you think could win, right? So if you think Luka could win, you've got 1,400 and 500. If you put the same amount of money on each bet, you could bet up to actually 4 different players there if 500 is your lowest number and still come out positive. There are ways to attack and use the numbers against the books, but that's just a hedge strategy. I'm not saying everyone go do that. It's just if you're looking to hedge. But yeah, I mean, that's the rule. Like, we can't complain about it. We knew it. We all understand it. Yeah.
Howie, there's a situation, and I apologize because right now it is absolutely pouring down rain. So if my feed is a little bit wonky, I apologize for that. It's crazy out here in California, which is why we don't have any golf picks today. But Howie, when you look at this, and there's a name that's not even on the top 5 right now, and I can't even pull it up on my phone because of how bad the service is. But there's a guy named Kawhi Leonard that's playing like an MVP.
Yes, he is.
That would be a name that I would lean into. But right now, Draymond Green, Halliburton from Indiana, they have been bitching about this rule and how unfair it is. And I didn't know that this year would be the year that it would affect the betting market. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I want to go back to Embiid. Before, when they announced the rule, I said, great. Now you're not going to have LeBron James pulling out of 30 games and, he needs rest, he needs rest, he needs rest. Which, granted, this is the NBA's fault. They didn't change the schedule. They kept it a long schedule. It's grueling, the travel, the physicality of the game. You're expecting so much. But in the case of Embiid, this appears to be a legitimate injury. I mean, if he's got a knee problem and let's say he misses 5 more games, let's say the rule is 65 and he plays 60. Is that so terrible? That's like when Ichiro Suzuki. Well, let me not go into that. But anyway, bottom line is this. Joel Embiid, when you're scoring 35 a game and you're dominating, have great percentages and rebounding well and a real key to your team, I think you should be a lot higher up there. And unfortunately, that rule changes it.
AB, go.
Yeah, the fascinating part, how he just brought it up, is let's say Embiid does sit out. And I'm not even saying sit out, miss games, because I don't want it to be in thought that he's just sitting out. This is an actual injury. If he's the MVP and he misses too many games, but is still the MVP, that goes to show even more how good that he is. So it's tough. Like, I get it. People who don't like the rule, I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying we all know about it. But it's fascinating that if he misses more games than he's allowed, yet is still the best player in the league, it's just funny.
I know. I disagree with both of you. I'll be honest with you. I disagree with both. If I'm hearing you correctly, AB, and I apologize if I'm not.
Let it rip. Yeah.
To me, I love this. I love this rule, and here's why. Because if you're in the National Football League and you play 11 games, have we ever seen an MVP win the MVP playing 11 games? No. Part of being a most valuable player is avoiding injury. And if you have an injury, guess what? That's just the way that it goes. And even if you're the best player in the league, okay, when Michael Jordan, years and years ago, he never even thought about load management or taking a day off. Because the other part that I like when players are beasts and dogs is understanding that when you buy a ticket, and I know, oh, God, no, this is a real thing. When you buy a ticket to watch Steph Curry or LeBron James or Joel Embiid in November because every game sells out and you're not really hurt or, I'm a little bit tired, and you get to February and that 8-year-old kid or that 9-year-old kid shows up at the arena and LeBron or Steph or any of those players are in street clothes, to me, that's not a most valuable player. It's more than just on the court. It's about pushing the league and promoting the league and promoting the brand. If he's really hurt, fantastic. So be it. But you can't win the MVP playing 60 games out of 82. It's just not the way that I think it should be. Last thoughts, Howie? It looks like you got something?
Yeah, I do. The bottom line is a lot of times fans are disappointed when they're paying so much money for these tickets and you go and you don't see Jokic or you don't see Embiid or you don't see Antetokounmpo or you don't see Luka or you don't see LeBron. And you're right. That is one of the reasons they put this rule in, because too many guys were missing too many games. But
we had it last night. We had it last night with Jokic. All right. We didn't find out that he wasn't playing. I mean, we had him in a parlay, and we didn't find out he wasn't playing until 2 hours before tip. So, yeah, I'm with you.
Yep. But it worked out for me because I had the Thunder on the money line at minus 115 at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it worked out for me, but I hate it. So to me, I love the rule, and you got to play. You got to play.
By the way,
I'm going to give you guys. Yes.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should really be the MVP of the league, because every night he scores 30 a game. He's on a team that realistically we didn't expect this to be nearly this good, and he's just unbelievable. Period.
Yeah. He's not on TV a lot, and for people who don't know, he's a really, really good player at OKC. Maybe in the next couple of years we'll get more national TV and more exposure. All right, we've got to move on. Boys, I'm going to put you on the bench just for a second. It's time. Oh, it's time to bet the board. Oh, we call him the silent assassin every single day. My man Jacob is coming strong. Yesterday, 3 big check marks as you continue to dominate for us in the world of soccer and also the NHL. Now, Jacob, I know today is a light day, but you still have one big play. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. So it's a super light day in soccer, and of course NHL is on break. So I am getting ahead of the game and taking a play tomorrow in the Netherlands. I'm going to be on first place Willem versus Camber Louis Warden. They are just a dominant team at home. They are currently in first place. They have seen over 1.5 team total goals hit in 9 out of the last 11 games overall, and 9-1-1 at home. They're taking on a Camber team who has allowed this many team total goals to their opponent in 5 in a row and in 60% of their road games. With Willem being at home, just super dominant. They've seen over 2.5 goals in all but 1 or 2 of their home games. They're just a really great team taking on a Camber team who is just not very good on the road. So I'm all over Willem and their team total over 1.5 goals.
And one more time, the league on this is what?
It's Netherlands. It's the 2nd division. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name, but 2nd division Netherlands.
Netherlands 2nd division. We dig deep, ladies and gentlemen. We dig deep. All right, Jacob, thank you very much for this morning. Thank you very much for all the work that you are doing. Thank you very much for getting the merch store, helping with us getting that off the ground today. You are appreciated, sir. Thank you. It's like everybody today is like very scared to talk. All right, let's bring my man Howie and AB back in. And gentlemen, we had a really good day yesterday, and there's a reason that we all do it together. If Howie's off, AB picks it up. AB's off, maybe y'all pick it up. So today, it is a light day, but we found some absolute bangers. Howie, let's start in college basketball with your one, sir.
Well, I got to start with something else. Where else do you get to play a bet on Willem Dafoe? I mean, come on. Jacob, great job. Okay, my pick is Stanford, Arizona State under 151.5. Arizona State averages under 70 points a game. Stanford averages 78, but they're on the road, and I think Arizona State will try to control the tempo of this game. I see this game as like a 74-70 game, and I think it's going to be comfortably under. We'll see. After yesterday, hey, we'll see what happens.
The Pac-12 is the only league, well, kind of the only league that goes Thursday and Saturday. Right. And when you look at the Thursday game, Howie, does it change how you handicap knowing who they're going to play on Saturday at all?
It does a little bit, especially when you're on the road. Because now Stanford, after Arizona State, gets Arizona. So, you don't know if they're going to look ahead a little bit. Both of these teams have been up and down, so I'm leaning to the down tonight. But I think it'll be an exciting, close game, but I don't think it'll get over the number. So
that's a big number, especially on a Thursday, kind of a lazy night, in Tempe, not a lot of energy. I like this play. I think that kind of matters. All right, let's stay in college basketball. AB, let's come over to you, and you're going to the state of Kentucky.
Absolutely. Western Kentucky here, about, I don't know, not 60 miles away from Nashville here. I've been to Bowling Green a billion times. I love it. Shout out everyone from Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers were taking a -4.5 against Sam Houston. This is when we see the Hilltoppers every single year start putting things together. They're a dangerous team, March Madness-wise, every single out. They are well coached. We're going to take them 4.5 here. Quite frankly, I don't even know if it's going to be that close. I like Western Kentucky. And we're going to go to the NBA and hit a little same game parlay. We've got the Lakers and the Celtics. We're going to take LeBron over 1.5 threes, Jason Tatum over 1.5 threes. Put those two together. Not a huge payout, just plus 105. But again, it's about keeping it simple and using a parlay, not for some big, massive juice hit, but to get the numbers down and hit the bet, win, and do it again. And also, everyone, please pray for me when we grade that Wilhelm bet, because I have no idea where to ever find these things. I'm up till 3 a.m. trying to find scores on it.
Let me ask you this. What happens if something happens like last night? For those people who are brand new to sports betting and you hit one leg of your parlay and then the other guy gets pulled and doesn't even play, what happens there?
Yeah, so it just voids the leg of the player being out. So last night we had Jokic over half of a three, and we had CJ McCollum over 2.5 threes. Jokic obviously did not play, so it just reverted to CJ McCollum, the bet over 2.5 threes.
Okay.
Which dropped it from plus 180 to minus 125, which we ended up hitting. He had 3 threes. Thank you, CJ, by the way. You're not on the list anymore. But yes, that's what it does. It usually just drops out. Well, like some books will void the whole thing if you only have 2 legs, but for the most part, it just drops the one.
All right. Very, very good. All right. I'm going to be very, very simple. I almost played the money line in this, and my man Zach in the chat says, I'm cashing with Coach today. Love the Knicks at -3.5, -105. The money line was -180 because the Knicks have been absolutely on fire. Ever since that big trade, they have looked like one of the best teams in the NBA, and the sports books have not caught up yet. They have been blowing teams out, and I've only got to lay 3.5 at home against a Pacers team that when they have a healthy Halliburton, is really good. When he's not healthy, well, they're average at best. So give me the Knicks -3.5. I would not mind putting the Knicks money line in a parlay, but laying -180 to me is a little bit too much juice. All right. A lot of good action going on in the chat. We appreciate all of you. Zach, people are loving your shirt. I had to turn my phone off. I got so many dings. Thank you very much, and thank all of you for supporting our brand new merch store that launched today. AB, go.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody hit the like button in honor of Zach today. Well done, buddy.
That's exactly right. Now, before we get out of here and let Howie go, Howie, as we head into the weekend, it's going to be a big weekend in college basketball. What are you kind of looking at? Where should the chat put their attention?
There are so many good games. Tennessee, Kentucky now has become a much bigger game with Kentucky losing last night and Tennessee losing to South Carolina. All of a sudden, Alabama and South Carolina are the top teams in the SEC. But that's a huge game. Certainly the Kansas game is going to be a fantastic game. UConn St. John's could be an interesting game. There's a lot on the board, and you'll be able to pick and choose and just have fun with it.
That's exactly right. And by the way, right now we do not have a Saturday show per se, but because you guys want Howie's picks so much, we are coming up with a plan. We will release those on Saturday. You will have something. I just don't want to make my guys work 7 days a week. We're not going to bury them in week number 3. But Howie, man, he is just a machine. Now, AB, A lot of people in the chat. Scott says, Coach must get sick to his stomach saying the word parlay. I've evolved, Scott. I don't hate unders and parlays as much as I used to. I've evolved. What is the cruise play of the day, sir?
I believe we have a little intro for that. All right, now I feel like I'm on an actual mission here. First off, I've got to shout out Casey in the chat. Says, I'm with Allan on this one. Casey, phenomenal choice. Phenomenal person. In the chat, phenomenal people as well that have largely gone with Wisconsin here. -1.5 at -110. That is the cruise choice. Over 50% on the vote there. I believe that might be the largest percentage that we have had so far on one place. So the chat all over Wisconsin with the 1.5 against Nebraska.
All right. Real quick, Howie, do you like that Wisconsin play?
That game worries me because Nebraska is very tough at home. Wisconsin, very physical team. But I felt stay away from that game. I don't have a great feel for it.
The crew's not scared, though. And they're not scared at all. AB.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, all right, so in the chat real quick, all right, our man Jonathan Archer said we need a stock exchange bell to ring on the closing bell. You're right. That was the first one that I put when making that video. And let me go ahead and tell you, if you think I am annoying and loud, you would have hated hearing that bell after one show. So I'm with you. Your thought process is correct. Trust me, I am saving you from literally buying into the Excedrin business and having a headache every hour. So yeah.
All right. Last thing before we say goodbye. There's a lot of you in the chat that are looking for golf picks, or you're trying to figure out what you're going to do in round 1 of Pebble Beach. Let me just say this. If I liked anything, I would have put them on the show. It is awful weather out here in California. So you saw any of the videos yesterday, they were hitting drivers on a 110-yard par 3. I would stay clear of any matchups today. Any plays in round 1, trust me, when you see the weather on TV today, unless it drastically changes in the next couple of hours, and it's so hard to predict and handicap when the wind is so high and you're on the ocean. So I'm staying away from everything today. And finally, if you are not with us at the top of the show, today was a big, big day. We launched our official merchandise store today, and so many of you have already purchased during the show. We're going to have a different featured item every single week. This is from our man, Zach. Hashtag the crew. It's us against the books. And if you go into our store, you're going to see Educate and Entertain, Driving the Line. Every single week also, we have the ability to make certain things. So if you have an idea, throw them at us. As you can see, we'll put them out there so all of us can enjoy being a part of the Driving the Line universe. And finally, tomorrow, tentatively, we launch another very big part of what we're doing here at Driving the Line. You guys love access. Well, you're going to have more access to all of us. And you'll have a chance to join a very exclusive club called The Crew. And if you're part of The Crew, you'll get more picks, more videos. You'll be able to be on a new show called Shoot Your Shot. We have so many videos for that already. If you haven't sent in your video and you want to be on that show, you got to be a member of The Crew. But also, you got to send it to drivingtheline@gmail.com. I just encourage you to follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have so much happening. And as we roll it out, you'll have all the details. And if you don't, just ask us. You know we will answer. We're all about you. God, I feel good today. Man, I feel good today. February 1st. And I got to tell you, when me and AB decided we wanted to relaunch and rebrand, we thought it would be May 1st. Before we'd be up and running. But because of all of you, we did it in January. And look where we're at just 2.5 weeks in. I think we're going to be at 2.5 years in. I cannot wait because we're going to be here for the next 30 years. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My Tiger Lobo, the legend, Howie Schwab, my 5-tool player, AB, our silent assassin, Jacob, and our unbelievable production team behind the scenes making this show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here at Driving the Line. Good luck.